Good morning, our listeners. Welcome on our video today. Today, as you can see, we are looking at History Paper 1. This is KCSE History Paper 1 revision. We have questions and answers here, and as you know, this one is out of 100 marks. Section A has 25 marks. Section B, as you can see, it has 45 marks. And then section C, you can see it has 30 marks. We request you to watch this video up to the end so that you can benefit out of our discussion today. And you never know, some of questions here can be repeated in your KCSE or the exam that you are waiting for, maybe in term 1, term 2, term 3, or even in your CAT. So if this is your first time to watch our videos, kindly subscribe to this channel and like this video. To the subscribers, we really want to thank you guys for the support that you've given us. Revision. So when you want to do revision faster and understand concepts easily, come here on this channel. Question number 18. State 5 factors for the migration of the Eastern Kushites into Kenya. What were the factors, or 5 factors, that led them to migrate? Number 1, they were searching for pasture for the livestock. Number 2, internal conflict in their original homeland forced them to migrate. Number 3, war with other communities forced them to migrate. Number 4, natural calamities, e.g. famine in their homeland, famine and drought. Next one, population pressure in their original homeland also forced them out. Next, they migrated because of desire to fulfill their spirit of adventure. That is, they wanted to explore, to know more about the environment or geological area. Next one and the last, diseases which affected both the plant and animals forced them to migrate from their original homeland into Kenya. One very important thing you should know about this question is that it can apply to all communities in Kenya. The reasons for migration of any community, may it be Agikuyu, Embu, Luo, these points that you have written here, if you write them and explain properly, then you are going to get 5 marks. Sometimes they bring it with the 12 marks, so you should consider this one as a free marks. Let's go to the next one. You have to describe 5 aspects of social organization of the Maasai. Social, remember, a student confused social and economic. You should know how to interpret the questions, because that is the main problem we have with our students. They jump, they read question without internalizing, they start answering and they give wrong answers. So it is good for you to repeat the question 3 times, first time, second time, third time, then you start writing the answers. Because once you write maybe if you're asked 5 aspects of the social organization, then you write on economic or political, then you get it wrong completely. So we are describing 5 aspects of social organization of Maasai. The basic social unit was a clan, was made up of related families. Circumcision of boys and girls was done. The Maasai believed in existence of God, whom they called Enkai. Next, they had places of worship, shrines, where prayers and sacrifices were offered. Next, they believed in ancestral spirits who were appeased through pouring of libations. Next, marriage was polygamous as well as exogamous. Next, they had religious leaders such as diviners and seers. Next, the Oloibon was a religious leader. Next, the Maasai and several social ceremonies, marking birth, circumcision, and others. Let's go to question number 19. Question number 19. Let us get it properly so that you can see it properly. We want people to see the question and the answers properly. So we have it here. State 5 factors that led to the migration of to growth of towns along the Kenyan coast before the 19th century. Factors that led to the growth. What made the towns to grow along Kenyan coast in the 19th century? Most towns emerged along the coast due to the following. This is the way you answer the question. You convince the examiner that you know what you are writing. Like, for example, you can start with a statement like this one. Most towns emerged along the coastal town due to or because of the following reasons. Number 1, trade and commerce that was happening there. Number 2, strategic position of the Eastern African coast. Number 3, Islamic religion also led to the growth of town. Next, existence of minerals such as gold, which was used in trade. Next, favorable climate conditions. Next, existence of deep natural harbors. And then the last one, peace and security in the area. Next, explain 5 factors that led to the decline of the Portuguese rule along East African coast. 5 factors. 5 factors. The other time they asked this question in KCSE. Explain 5 factors that led to the decline of the Portuguese ruler. Number 1, Portuguese was a small country with a small population, hence she was unable to raise a big army. Number 2, Portuguese had inadequate personnel compared to the vast East African coast. Number 3, Portuguese officials were greedy and corrupt, who amassed wealth at the expense of administration. Next, they lacked a systematic form of government, e.g. there was no attempt to administer the territory. Next, the Portuguese faced constant hostility and rebellion from the coastal people. Next, decline in trade along East African coast. We go to the next question, number 20. Outline 5 recommendations of the Devonshire White Paper. 5 marks. This question is very common. It will be better for you if you master it, because many KCSE they have repeated these questions. Recommendations of Devonshire White Paper. Number 1, the Kenyan highland was to be exclusively for the white settlers, and that is what the recommendation said, the first recommendation. Number 2, the Indians would elect 5 members to the legislative council or Lengico on a communal role. Number 3, the European settlers' demand for self-rule in Kenya was rejected. Next, racial segregation was abolished. That is, restriction of Indians in migration was abolished. Next, the interests of the Africans were to be given first priority. Next, the colonial secretary would exercise strict control over the affairs of the colony. Next, a missionary would be nominated to the Legico to represent African interests. Next, the settlers would maintain their representation in Lengico. We are almost through. Let's go to the next one. You are told Explain 5 problems faced by the settler farmers in Kenya during the colonial period. What are some of the problems that white settlers faced in colonial Kenya or during the colonial period? Number 1, settlers faced constant raids by the local inhabitants, like the Maasai raided their daily farms for cattle. Number 2, many Africans were not willing to offer labor, which was needed by the settlers. Number 3, many Africans lacked basic farming knowledge and experiences. They had not engaged in farming before. Next, the experienced transport problems due to road being muddy and impassable during rainy seasons. Next, the settlers lacked adequate funds, they lacked capital, which hindered the procurement of farm input, machinery and labor. Next, there was a lack of market during the interwar period. Next, the settlers lacked the knowledge of religious. They settled in a term of the climate, season and soils. Next, there were pests and diseases which affected crops and livestock. For example, Londonderry lost cattle and wheat to tropical diseases. Go to question number 21. In which 5 ways as the Kenyan government attempted to preserve culture heritage since independence? This one is from 4 work, where we look at the political, social and economic development and challenges in Kenya since independence. So which 5 ways as the Kenyan government attempted to preserve the cultural heritage since independence? Number 1, through the establishment of the Ministry of Culture. Number 2, through the establishment of the cultural heritage centers. Number 3, through promotion of art. Next, by establishment of Kenya National Theatre. Next, promotion of cultural festivals. Next, inclusion of cultural studies in the curriculum. Let's go through with this video. We thank you so much for watching up to the end. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly take this take this opportunity, 1 second or 2, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and it will be recommended to other viewers across the world. Also, to the subscribers, we want to thank them so much because this channel has grown this much because of your support. Today we request you one thing: kindly like this video, and it shall be recommended to other viewers. Until next time, goodbye.